is like they're going to make it, they want to make it fun, simple, and easy. Okay. Why did we want to change things? Well, they say that the average Cub Scout is only in Cub Scouts 1.6 years. That sounds really short to me, but apparently they've done their research. So they're looking for like a way to like make it more simple, because parents and leaders thought it was a little bit complicated. And I agree, after being a den leader for all the different dens, sometimes it is kind of hard to see how everything ties together. So let's go to the next one there. I think the next one we've already seen also. It's just that same little symbol that they have going on. So that's what they're aiming for: fun, simple, and easy. And I like the new changes. I mean, this transition year is going to be a little bit interesting as we all get up to speed, but I think it's going to work out well. So what they did is they talked to 23,000 leaders and parents. Now, they didn't talk to me, and they probably didn't talk to some of you, but they've been working on this for 4 years. And they feel really good about the changes that they made. And they think it's going to be much easier for us and simpler. So I'm all for that. This is what they looked at in general. They looked at all the adventures, the new ones and the existing ones. They looked to make sure that they were age appropriate, to make sure that they're engaging and fun to do, and that it teaches a scouting skill, or it reinforces a scouting value. And if it didn't meet those requirements, they kept working on it until it did. And apparently they had a group of people that they talked with or texted with, or however they communicated, to keep checking as they were making the changes to make sure that these criteria were met. They still are aiming for the adventures to be able to be done in 1 or 2 meetings. And I think probably most of us agree that that's the way it should be. Personally, I like the ones that could be done in 1, but yeah, but 1 or 2 meetings is good. So that's what they're trying to keep that going. So they had 4 major areas of focus. They wanted to focus on Bobcat. That's the first rank that everybody had to earn at one time. That's going to change a little bit. It's one set of criteria for all the ranks. So whether you were a Tiger or a Webelos, it was like the same criteria. So that doesn't exactly work good, because first graders are a lot different than 4th and 5th graders. So they thought that we should change that. On adventures, they said that some of those were hard to teach across dens. So if you had like multi-age dens or dens working together because you had a small pack, sometimes that was difficult. The Webelos program, it's like, well, everything is like a year except Webelos. Webelos was 18 months. So that was it's kind of like the oddball rank. And awards, the research that they did showed that awards are not earned by very many Cub Scouts. So they wanted to address that. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the Bobcat. So now, instead of it being the first thing that you earn and it being a patch, it's going to be an adventure. You're going to earn a belt loop for it, or a pin if you're a Webelos or an Arrow of Light. So it's going to be the first required adventure that you're going to be working on each year. Some people were wound up. They're like, you're going to be learning the same thing every year. No, it's like the requirements for the line will be very easy. The requirements for the Arrow of Light will be more involved. So like, for an example, the requirements for line are going to be: get to know your den members, read through the law. What does it mean to be friendly? What does it mean to do your best? And of course, to do the parent guide to protect your children from child abuse. That's in there also. That's going to stay with the Bobcat. And like for an Arrow of Light, there's more requirements. So it's not the same stuff every year. So for an Arrow of Light, they're going to learn the patrol method. They're going to pick a patrol name. They're going to make a flag. They're going to make up their code of conduct. They're going to demonstrate the Boy Scout, the BSA, Scouts BSA sign, salute. They're going to visit a troop, and they're going to do the parents' guide for to protect against child abuse. So the main thing on this one that everybody's starting to talk about is the visit a troop thing is going to be earlier in the year than it probably is now. So I would say August or September, troops will be starting to hear from packs that want to come visit from their Arrow of Light Scouts that want to come visit the troops. So instead of being like a lot of times now, it seems like it's November or December, but it's probably going to be earlier in the fall. Okay, let's see. Did I get everything here? Okay, let's move on. They keep showing, I've seen this one a couple times. They say you could still keep your traditions for like, you're just not earning the patch now, you're getting a loot. So if you have a traditional ceremony that you do, you could still do that. In fact, they encourage you to retain your traditions. So the other key thing they're telling us is this is how you remember it: 6 and 2. So this is what it's going to be for each rank. You're going to have 6 required adventures for your rank and also 2 electives. Now, of course, you can do more if you want to. So instead of like, I think the way it is right now, there's a different number for the different ranks. But now every rank from Lion through AOL is going to be a 6 required plus 2 electives. Also, you guys don't have to worry about taking notes or taking screenshots. This is what I did during the presentation. But this whole presentation, Alex has got up on the council webpage. It's under advancement. So if you look on there, you can see this whole presentation with all these slides. So don't worry about trying to like, that's a lot of information right there. So you don't have to try to like scribble it all down. Okay, so this is showing the required adventures. And there's 6 for each one. And if you look down, I don't know how well you guys can see them, but each one going across is value of scouting that they're trying to maintain across the ranks. So Bobcat is character and leadership. Each rank down below that is going to have an outdoors one. Okay, and they're like different but the same. Okay, they have like the same value, but like for example, mountain lion for the lion for the outdoors is going to be take a 20-minute walk around the neighborhood, while the AOLs is going to be take a planned 2-mile walk, talk about the buddy system, talk about other things. It's going to be much more involved for the higher ranks. So yeah, so just going on down through there: personal fitness, citizenship, personal safety, and then family and reverence at the bottom. So what I liked about this is like there's a lot of similarity there. So if you have like lions and tigers together in the same den, it'd be a lot easier than it was, even though I know a lot of us had workarounds for working together with multiple dens. But it's easy to see the connection between our scouting values and the different required adventures. Okay. Okay, this is a list of the electives. So the light ones are the existing ones, the dark ones are the new ones. The very bottom ones are the ones that we still have, that we have now, that are the ones that are required to be done at a council event. So let's see. Don't go anywhere yet. Stay on that one for a second here. Okay, so lions will have 16 electives that they can do. Tigers, wolves, bears, and weeblos will have 20, and Arrow of Lights will have 16. The reasoning behind this was 16 for the for the lions, and for the Arrow of Lights is because they're in the program for a shorter amount of time, because lions don't join until the fall, and the Arrow of Lights will be getting out a little bit early. But there's plenty of electives, and there's a lot of similarity that goes on between these two. They found out what everybody likes to go fishing, so there is like a fishing elective for everyone. There's a cycling one. There's a lot of similarity going across. They also warned us that some of the electives, even though they have the same name that they kept, like some of the requirements will probably be different. It won't be the exact same way that it is right now. So just because there's like build it up, knock it down for lines. It might not be exactly the same as we have it right now. Okay. They're just going to reinforce the 6+2. So here's some of the things that are similar with the electives. Excuse me. There's like a camping one for each one. So, you know, if your pack goes for a camp out, everybody will probably be able to get this belt loop or pin, depending on where you're at in your ranks. Same with the fishing, same with bicycling, same with swimming. So I think this is a good idea. I think it's going to make it easier and more consistent across everything for us to be able to have like pack activities or multiple den activities, and kids can earn a belt loop. Okay, Pinewood Derby or the Rain Gutter Regatta. So yeah, so there's going to be, I mean, everybody, almost every pack has a Pinewood Derby every year, so they'll be able to get a belt loop for that or a pin. I like that idea. STEM. Okay, so from what I understand, the STEM and the NOVA stuff is going away, and they have these electives that are supposed to help take the place of it. And there's some similarity between all the ranks with that too. But so they're trying to maintain it, but it is a belt loop or a pin now, instead of like the special little pie pins and the NOVA and the other STEM patches and stuff. Somewhere in here I got to talk about patches and pins. I don't remember where that's at, but there's a big discussion, of course, because some people really like belt loops and pins, and some people really like patches. Personally, I like patches, but I can see where they're trying to simplify it. You know, it's going to be a discussion no matter when we have it. But right now, this is the way they have it set up. And I think it's going to be for the good in the long run. Okay. Okay, knife safety. Let me catch up with my notes here. Okay, so whittling chip is going away. There's going to be knife safety for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. I'm going to read this to you. So it's retired. To use the knife, a Cub Scout must complete the adventure for their rank, even if they completed the knife safety adventure previously in the previous rank. So you can use the pocket card for proof. Okay, so there's a lot of discussion. I'm on a couple different forums. There's a lot of discussion about, so like if a bear earns his belt loop for his knife use, as soon as he advances, like on June 1st, to be a 4th grader, to be the Weeblos, he actually loses the right to carry his knife until he earns the next one up, which is the chef's knife. So this is a little bit different. They know it's a little bit weird, but what they're recommending is that the den leader go ahead and make that like one of the first things that they work on. They also said that a lot of summer camps and day camps will be offering the knife safety one belt loop or pin early on, so that kids can get it done in summer camp. So it's going to be a little bit different than it is now, but they wanted to make sure that they reinforce knife safety every year. So this is how they're approaching it. I guess in a way, it's like when you transition from Cub Scouts to Scouts BSA, you kind of lose your knife privileges until you get your tote and ship too. I think is how it works right now. So it's kind of the same thing. So you're going to lose your privilege on June 1. And hopefully your den leader or your summer camp will be getting with you with that as soon as possible to get you back being able to use your pocket knife. I keep forgetting to leave time for questions. If anybody has a question, just pipe in. And I'll try to answer as we go. Okay.
Mary.
There were,
Mary,
yes. Oh, go ahead.
So, quick question. Is there any specific adult training on the knife safety that needs to be taken prior to teaching it this summer?
I'm not sure on that. Now, at the end of this presentation somewhere, they talk about training. And from what I understand, the training is not coming until May to me, that seems really late. So I don't know if there'll be something specific for the knife training or not. The other thing is,
Hey, Mary,
yes,
I doubt if they'll have any special training for whittling because there wasn't any special training for den leaders.
before, right,
You did it.
right. I agree. There might not be. Let's see.
Mary, Dan also mentioned that they might add that to or revise the Baloo training.
Well, knife safety
Right.
is it's already covered as part of Baloo training, but it's going to need to be revised because it talks a lot about the whittle and chip.
Right. So they'll have to take that out and put in the knife safety. And they also said in the presentation I was in, it said like for the Weeblos for the 4th grade, it says chef's knife. So they're going to learn about chef's knife, but they're going to reinforce the whole safety thing about the whole use of knives. So it's not like they're just going to teach them how to chop vegetables and that's it. It's supposed to be a reinforcement of everything you know, plus a little bit more for each rank, because as they grow up, they keep thinking of more things to use their knife for, I guess. So
I love the redundancy and exactly how it builds on each level, builds on the prior level.
Yep.
yes.
With information. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I think that's a good thing too. So instead of just giving them, the whittling chip when they're a bear, if that's when they do it, and letting it carry through, we're gonna address knife safety every year. I think it's a good thing. It'd be something for us to get used to. But I think it's good.
I think
Okay.
something they're doing is they're teaching theory is to attach learning to something they already know. So that's what they're doing all the way through, is they're just going deeper and making it, connect all the way through.
Right. Yeah. So if you're on any online groups, there's a lot of discussion about this. And I did send in this specific question because some people are like that it doesn't really disappear on June 1. Your rights to carry a knife don't disappear, but actually the way they have it written, it does until you earn your next ranks. Yeah. Pin or belt loop, whatever. Right.
Mary, Chrissy has a question too. And I'm not sure if anybody has an answer to this question, go ahead and chime in. But Chrissy, if we don't get a good answer to this, I'm going to ask Daniel. I've already asked him to talk at the next meeting about camp. But that would make sense to do that at camp for the kids so that they could have their knife privileges while they're there.
It would.
So,
I think it's a great idea. Yeah.
Anybody
to answer that question more directly, I don't think this has been discussed specifically, but I will bring it up at our next camp leadership meeting and make sure that that's specifically addressed, because I think it would be a pretty smart idea to build that into our programming for the summer.
Yep. Good question.
That's the other thing I was going to say. I have not seen the specific requirements for each elective or each required belt loop or pin yet. Now, from what I understand, somebody in the council has all the details because they're already planning summer camps and day camps, but the actual details have not been released yet. I've got this later on too, but the books are supposed to come out in March or April. From what I'm hearing, it's more likely going to be like April. So when the leader books and the Cub Scout books come out, then I guess the rest of us will know the details. But some people in the council know the exact details already of all the requirements. So they have that information to work on for summer camps.
Hey,
This
Mary,
is what I understand.
I think something that we have to also remember is that Cub Scouts is all about do your best. So this is a transition year. We're all going to be like, especially for the Bears, if your Bears just earned it, Chrissy, it's like, all right, this is a great transition. If they're all going to summer camp, they have their knife. That's a great teaching moment. It's like, yeah, it's a thing. But again, we have to always fall back on the do your best.
Yeah.
Right, I agree.
I'll also kind of iterate here that Mary, you are right. The camp team does have some access to the specific requirements for the adventure so that we can plan, our activities around that. I will also say that having seen some of those requirements, they are like 1,000,000% more simple than they were before. So think 3 to 4 requirements, a couple sentences each. I haven't seen the knife one specifically, but I can't imagine you couldn't knock that out in one den meeting in a very easy activity. So it's not nearly as overwhelming as some of the adventures have been in the past.
Yes, exactly. It's supposed to be simple and easy. So we're hoping that they're true to their word on that. Okay, so let's see, knife safety. Let's pop on to the next. I think the next one's just a transition. Okay, so now we're up to Webelos, which was the third area that they were concerned with. So now this is like a difference, a big difference. So now Webelos and Arrow of Light are totally separate programs now. You don't have to call them Webelos 1 and Webelos 2. Most of us have already went to calling the 5th graders Arrow of Lights, but this is like official now. So the 4th graders are going to have their own book. They're going to keep the oval patch. They're doing away with the diamond. For the 5th grade, they're going to have their own Arrow of Light, their own requirements, their own electives, and of course they're keeping the Arrow of Light patch there. They told us not to sweat the stuff like, you know, if you have a bunch of diamond patches for your Webelos, you can still give them out. Don't sweat that. We'll be talking about uniforms in a little bit too. Or am I talking about it here? Maybe here. Don't sweat if you have, you know, if your uniform doesn't exactly match up. Their big thing was don't sweat the small stuff, right? So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hit on the uniforms too. So for 4th grade, for the Webelos, they're going to stay with them. I think now sometimes we transition in 4th grade to the tan shirts, but right now they're recommending the blue. They're still going to have the plaid hat and the plaid necker. You know, if some kid is growing fast and they want to have a tan shirt in the 4th grade, that's totally fine. Don't sweat it. So 5th grade for an Arrow of Light Scout, they're going to recommend transitioning to the tan shirt and the green pants like the Scouts BSA. There is no official necker and there's no official hat for the Arrow of Lights. Now, part of their thing is like learning about patrols and making a patrol name and a flag. And if they want to design their own necker or have their own cap, or if they just want to wear their Scouts PSA new cap, they can do that. They do recommend not wearing the plaid if you're an AOL because they think that's going to be confusing. But of course, if it happens, don't sweat that stuff. So let's see, totally separate. There's also there's no tenure now required on Webelos or on Arrow of Lights. So you don't have the requirement that you have to be active 3 months for a Webelo or 6 months for an AOL. They're trying to make it easier and more streamlined. Let's see the pins. I think there's a slide on this. Let's go to the next one, Stace. Okay, separate rank, right? Okay. Yeah, they're telling people not to, if you're Webelos, don't work on Arrow of Light stuff. Stick with your Webelo stuff. Even now, if you're a 4th grader now in Webelos, don't be skipping ahead and trying to get a few Arrow of Light stuff things done. If you've already done them, that's okay. But in general, everything is separate now. Yeah, don't work on, okay, right. Okay, let's go to the next one. Changes, let's see. Yeah, it's still designed for Cubs to cross into, for the Arrow of Lights to cross into a troop in January and February, if they can and if they want to. So we're going to stick with that. Okay, this is more on the uniforms. Okay, I already talked about this a little bit. So yeah, they're sticking with the blue for the Webelos. No hat. I thought it was interesting that there's no hat or no necker for the Arrow of Lights. But you're actually in that program not that long, I guess. If you're sticking with the standard. The pins are similar, but a little bit different. So the Webelos pins are going to be the diamond shape. And of course, the colored for the required ones, and they're going to be single color for the electives. And then the arrow of light, it's going to be an arrow shaped pen. So the pens will be a little bit different. They told us not to worry. If you have a bunch of oval pens and you want to use them, go ahead and use them. Especially for the ones that haven't changed any, that still look the same. You can still use them even if the actual requirements are a little bit different. They're not going to call it the Weeblo's colors anymore. It's going to be called Adventure Colors, but it's basically the same thing. It's the three ribbons that you can put your pens on. This is the thing that I already sent out to the 4th grade people that I know. This is what they're telling us right now, that don't work on the arrow of light. One thing they did recommend is work on the adventures that aren't going to be available to you next year when you're an arrow of light. So these are the ones: Aquanaut, Art Explosion, Aware and Care, Build It, Earth Rocks, and the Modular Design, which is, I think, apparently it's a preview adventure. So you can do them this year right now as a 4th grader, but they will not be available to you next year as an arrow of light because of the separation of these 2 ranks. Okay, awards. Okay, so in their research, I couldn't believe this was true, but apparently it's true. They said that only 1.5% of Cub Scouts earn awards in general. So so that's why they started looking at awards. And of course, that's all the cool patches. I like all the cool patches, but they decided to do away with most of that. And it's actually like went down into the electives. So you can get a belt loop for it for different things now, not the awards so much being a patch anymore. Let's see. Part of the problem with the awards is like a lot of leaders don't know about them. There's not a whole lot in the books about them. I mean, you have to search around sometimes to find the requirements for them. A lot of new leaders don't know anything about them. Of course, part of that, maybe, I'm sure, is like the way it's been presented in the past. It's like some of these I didn't know about, but by the time you're in Cub Scouts a little while, you usually know about the big ones. So like, yeah, so the outdoor activity, the panda conservation, we talked about Nova and STEM and the summertime patches, those are going to go away and they're going to become belt loops, basically, that you can earn. We'll talk about them a little bit more as we go along. They found that elective adventures, of course, did a lot better as far as Cubs earning them, but that makes sense because you have to do a couple electives for each rank anyway. So anyway, like we talked about the patch versus pin and belt loop. It's like some people really like patches. You're not going to fare so well with the changes because most things are going to belt loops and pins. Okay. So we were talking about the panda patch. So now there's a what do they call it here? Champions for Nature. There's a conservation belt loop or pin for each rank, starting with lions. That and this was a change that was from the World Organization of Scouting. So this is a big change, but you can get, it's similar, to the panda patch, but it's a little bit different. So you'll be getting a belt loop or a pin for it. I think it's good to have something across the whole thing. If you guys do a conservation project with your pack, you can give out all sorts of awards, and it's a lot simpler and easier to follow, I think. Summertime fun. The main change that I saw with this, of course, it's not a patch or the little pin anymore. It's a belt loop or a pin. So it used to be you didn't get credit if like a certain percentage of your pack didn't do the activities, but now it's entirely based on an individual. So if your pack offers 3 activities over the summer and you have a Cub Scout that does it, they can earn the pin or the belt loop. So I like that because it's tough sometimes. You can't get it's hard to get the pack together sometimes in the summer. The range and target stuff. Okay, so yeah, that big patch with the little slingshot and arrow and the BB gun pins, that's going away, and that's becoming a belt loop and pins also. Starting with kindergarten, it's the same thing that I think that we offer now. It's changing the way that you can award it. Diffrey. Okay, so I think this is how they think the new books are going to look. They're supposed to be already in the printers. They're supposed to have the name big and bright on the front so we can tell what everything is, a place to put your name. I like the way they look. The lion and the tiger books are supposed to be bigger than they are now. Of course, the lion book right now is pretty small, but they're supposed to be bigger, and they're supposed to have a parent section because we're supposed to be reinforcing that parents have to be involved in the lion and tiger years of Cub Scouting. So the books are going to look good.
Hey, Mary, did they say anything about like e-copies, or are they encouraging people to have hard copies, or is that a discussion?
Yeah, we need to ask that one. I haven't heard anything about e-copies. But there is supposed to be leader books also, and the leader portion is supposed to be going to be on scouting.org, and it's supposed to be where you don't have to sign in with a password. You're just supposed to be able to go there and see everything that you need to know if you're a leader or a parent that's helping a leader. It's supposed to be much easier to access. I don't know about ebooks. That's something we should
I'm
ask.
curious because I know for the littler ones, sometimes it helps to be able to like put it in their hands and let them check things off. And
Definitely.
Just curious.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're familiar with the way the Lion books work now, you have in the package, you have the parent book in the kids book, and there's a sticker sheet where they can, earn as they go through their requirements and stuff.
Brilliant.
I don't see how that would work in an ebook. But I do know that the Tiger book is also transitioning to that kind of a model. So I will definitely look into that for you and report back as soon as I know something.
And I can't remember if there's a picture on the next slide about the backs. No, okay, this is more on inside. So yeah, so like what Alex was talking about, like for tigers and for lions, they have some cartoons and some trails that they go on. Makes it easier for the really young kids to figure things out. So on the back of the book, somewhere I saw a picture. I can't remember if it's at the end of this presentation or not. It's going to have the oath and the law on the back, and the books are going to be tabbed like for each adventure. So you'll be able to flip to wherever you need to get to easy. So I like that idea. Okay, so now we're up to, this is the part where they said it's going to be online and easy to get to. So you can just go, you can click right on Lion and jump right in there and see what's there, see what the requireds are, see what the electives are, and that everything will be clearly listed. They told us, I know some of you all remember some of the required and some of the electives too. It's like do number 1, 2, and 3, and then do 3A or 3B. They took away all that option stuff, and they're just going to list out the requirements. So that part hopefully will keep us all better on the same page. Oh, Stacy, who knows what I'm doing? I'm probably skipping around a little bit.
Sorry, I think I am too.
That's okay.
Should we go back?
So this is just showing, let's see. This is, so like all that is like how they are now, how some of them are now. It's like, you never know really where you're at. And if people are trying to do stuff at home, sometimes parents don't know, well, which one should I do? Which one did other people do? So they tried to take away that do this or that out of the instructions, the requirements. There's going to be this, I thought was an interesting thing. So each adventure will have a page similar to this. Some of these are like, okay, this one's not, or is it? Some of these are in Spanish. So you don't worry about trying to take notes on this. So they're going to have like an activity card for adventures, and it's going to help you know what you need to do. It's going to tell you if it's an indoor or an outdoor thing, so you can prepare like seasonally. Like sometimes we know in the fall we got to get our hikes done early because we start losing daylight. It's going to tell you what kind of energy level is required, from like low, like your scouts will just be listening to you talk or listening to a presentation, to high, where there's lots of exercise and running. There's going to be a note about supplies, from no supplies, which you can just plan on the fly on the way home from work, or it's going to take you multiple trips to Lowe's, like to get the stuff that you need to do the adventure. And also the prep time, from none to it might take you a week or two to gather things up and to figure out what you do, or you have to make contact with somebody in the community. So it's supposed to be like a quick way to get a shot. Here's like a close up of that, both of those cards, about what you need to do to help you plan. And like I said, it's supposed to be available to anybody. So like if you can't make a meeting, you're going to turn it over to your assistant den leader or to maybe a mom or a dad. You can say, just go here, take a look at this. You could pick an easy one and say, here, do this easy one. And hopefully it will be easy to do. Easy to hand off to other.
I think that was more of the same, yeah. You still with me, Mary? Uh-oh.
I think he froze.
Okay. I was like, is it me?
No, I think she
We're
froze
gonna keep moving and hopefully Mary will come back.
near the
But
connection.
we're really close. We've only got like 5 more slides. So it looks like the rink patch is changing shape. Current Cub Scouts do not need to change their uniform. Their badges of rank position on the uniforms based on the order earned. Okay.
That's because they're going to take away that Bobcat
Yeah,
patch.
right.
Excuse
It'll
me.
become an adventure. Okay. Cub Scout program update rollout timeline for council. So we kind of know June is when they take effect, but you can see the different things that they're doing to roll it out, including the leader materials right in here, I think it looks like. Okay.
We are supposed to be able to start getting the new books into the scout shops late March, early April. The leader online books where it kind of lists out the requirements, like that's going to start rolling out here really soon. So you'll definitely start to see in bits and pieces more updates coming out.
Okay, great. And then resources. Cub Scout Live chats. So it looks like they're doing a lot to create discussion on the new changes. And then, of course, an email where you can send questions if you have them. All righty. Are there any questions before we move on to the next topic? Okay, hopefully we get Mary back. Thank you, Mary. All right, real quick, well, not real quick, but in addition, Dan has offered to talk about the Boy Scout or the Scout BSA changes that are coming. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to him. And he just put a link in the chat if you would like to follow along. I think he's also gonna screen share.
No, I wasn't planning to screen share, but if
He's not gonna screen share, so click it yourself.
I'm going to try and keep it brief since we're running close to out of time. And the changes to the Scouts BSA program aren't nearly as extensive, but you definitely need to be aware of them. Particularly because I don't think new handbooks have been issued, even though there have been some changes. The first significant change applies to both Scout and Star ranks. The cyber chip is going away, which, speaking as someone who's taught the cyber chip, I'm pretty happy about that. It really didn't work well as a patrol activity. It's being replaced by a personal safety awareness training. I haven't actually seen the requirement yet, but it's supposed to be roughly equivalent and but not tied to this external agency that ran the cyber chip. So I think that's going to be a good change. The other non-merit badge change is that there's no longer a 3-month wait between Eagle Palms. So if you have an ambitious Eagle Scout who's knocking out those merit badges, he can earn the Eagle Palms as soon as he gets the additional 5 merit badges. Of course, probably waiting till the next Court of Honor to get his hands on him anyway. But if you have the issue of bored Eagle Scouts who are complaining because they can't get their Eagle Palm yet, well, now they can. It's a problem I'd like to have in our troop. Then there were changes to a number of merit badges, including a number of Eagle required merit badges. Notably, first aid has been updated to be more hands-on. Canoeing, which is one of the options, along with hiking and backpacking. No, never mind, that is not an option. That's not an Eagle required one. Sustainability has been reorganized. I believe that's mostly just rewording. And then there have been minor changes to camping and cooking as well. So there are a number of Eagle required merit badges. Oh, looks like Alex might have a better link if you want to follow that. I like this one that I dug up because the second page actually drills into what changes there are to the merit badges. So this isn't really as applicable to units directly, but I think as council, we need to get word out. I don't know if it's my job as training committee or the advancement committee needs to get word out to the merit badge counselors and make sure that they're all aware that the requirements for some of the merit badges have changed. So nothing substantial, but I advise, I recommend that Scoutmasters and advancement chairs for the units read up on some sort of summary like this and just be aware how that's going to affect the Scouts in your unit. And in addition, you need to look in the Guide to Advancement to address how that affects someone who has already started a rank or who has already started a merit badge, because there are specific rules for how that's to be addressed. And that's all I've got. A lot more straightforward than the Cub Scout program changes.
Thank you, Dan. And thank you, Mary. We have Mary back. I don't think she can unmute, but she can hear us. Thank you so much, both of you, for sharing what you know, and just being knowledgeable people in our council that we can direct questions to, and you know.
Yeah, I got everything back. Thanks for finishing that up for me, Stacy.
No problem.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of resources that Alex put up on the MAC page. And also some of you guys might do the Cub Chat Live. They have a lot of the presentations they already made. They're really good too. So if you want to hear or listen to it, it's good. Yeah.
How frequently do they do those Cub Scout Lives?
They do that every Friday.
Okay. Awesome. Another good.
And those are also recorded, by the way. So the ones, the Cub Chat Lives where they have talked about these changes specifically, those are linked to the Cub Scout Live page, which is linked on our website on the new Cub Scout program section.
Right.
Fantastic.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
We have a hand up.
Oh. Okay. I just wanted to say something. We had a troop meeting last week, and we have several boys that are between the scout and first class rank. And as I was looking, going on Scout Book and checking this off and checking that off, I realized that things had really changed. And we didn't, I know some of it changed in 2022. Was I aware? Well, kind of in the back of my mind, but never really thinking about the changes that might occur in those short ranks. So anyway, as of like the beginning of January, suddenly Cyberchip disappeared. You didn't have to, check that off or whatever. And I realized that there are a lot of changes. So Monday night, we got to looking at the boys' books. Some of them are in the 2018 or 19 book. Some of them are in the 2022. I think there's a newer one as well. I don't remember exactly, but there's a place online. Don't ask me where it is, but I will find it and send it to Dan. You can print out all of these pages if you want to, and it's just the rank pages for the back. If you wanted, you could staple them all together and have the kids refer to them as they move through those ranks or whatever. But it's very helpful to go, wow, I didn't know that changed or whatever. And it was very helpful to me. I do more on the pack side than I do on the troop side, but I was trying to update their books and it's like, on Scout Bug and was like, oh my gosh. So just wanted to let you know that. Thank you.
Good to know. Thanks, Joe. All righty. We are going to switch gears real quick. Some of you may know that we are hosting a wood badge this year. It's coming soon, and I've asked Lori Ludus, and Lori, I'm trying to share that picture you sent me, and I probably sent it to my work email because I cannot find it. But I'll try to get it up while you're talking. But she's gonna just kind of tell you about her experience, and just a quick 2-minute thing. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
pretty much. I mean, it's really like why you want to attend. It's Wood Badge ties the entire scouting program, history, everything together. You're gonna bring back the stuff you learn from it to have a stronger unit. You're gonna really understand more of what and why of scouting, what we do. You're gonna experience not only what you learn at Wood Badge, but you can apply it to your work and scouting, which is great. This course, I know Steve Blosser, he's going to be a troop guide, and he was the senior patrol leader last time. I'm the senior patrol leader this time. And we're going to bring a lot of fun to Wood Badge, because from the last course, we were just making all kinds of fun game references so that everybody can, because it's all about having fun while learning. What you're going to get from this, you're going to get listening skills, managing conflict, leading change, stages of team development. You're going to understand the EDGE method. You're going to do coaching and mentoring, understand the leadership of various stages, servant leadership, understand that, and project planning, and so much more. So I highly encourage, if you have not done Wood Badge, to do it. Some of the staff members, if you're wondering like who's on staff, are they going to be fun or what? Course director is Dan McNeil. He's coming back up from Florida. He's going to be there. You got John Sawson, Tim Rumble, Dan Marner, myself, to just name a few. Troop guides are Steve Blosser, Amy Garbrick, Lauren Nazpak, Lee Piles, and Michael Torres. You're going to have a lot of fun. I highly encourage you guys to, it's 2 weekends. The first weekend is full Friday, full Saturday, and full Sunday, but you're going to bring so much more back to your units and even your workplace. Anybody have any questions?
Oh, there was one. Oh, never mind. Alex put the link in the chat. Of note is that on 2/15, so that's Thursday, the early bird rate is expiring. So Thursday is your last chance to register for 275. It goes up to 300, and then at the end of March it goes up more. So come to fun.
If your unit can afford to give any money to your leaders, that's always nice too. I know with Troop 152, we're going to bring it up at our parent committee. Several of our people have already paid the $100. If we paid the other 175, that's fantastic. You know, anything helps out people. And there are, I mean, if anybody needs help and their unit's not going to help them, please reach out to Dan McNeil, because we've talked about having a like campership for this as well.
Good to know. All right. Any questions? All right. Additionally, Alex, do you want to, thank you, Lori. Alex, do you want to talk about camp registration? I know that is also expiring soon, the early bird for that.
Yeah, early bird, a deadline for all of our summer programs, Cub Day Camp, Cub Resident Camp, and Scouts BSA Resident Camp is April 15th. For Scouts BSA, I'm happy to report that week 1 and week 3 are full. So if your troop is not registered for camp yet, you have one option, and that is week 2. We would love to see you there. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Oh, Joe, was that a question? Did I see a hand? Go ahead.
I'm just inept at that whole unmute, mute thing.
This works.
Okay. I was like, ah. All right. In regards to day camp, the last time I looked, there were no prices. Do you know prices yet for day camp?
Yeah, they should be up there. Let me look.
I don't think I checked since
Um,
maybe Sunday.
And while he looks, guys, if you haven't already, can you put your unit in the chat? And also any topics for future roundtables, if you have any ideas, plop those in there. I was gonna tell you something. Oh, I'm hoping to, I haven't locked it down yet, but I'm hoping to have Daniel talk about summer camp at the next Scouters Cracker Barrel. So hopefully we'll get some more details then too.
Thank you, Alex. Apparently I missed that place.
Great. All right.
I think it was updated in one, like on our webpage, but not on the registration page or something. And we did fix that recently. So but there I put up 2 links to the day camp. One is kind of on our website, and then one is the registration page.
Okay. All right. Sorry to rush us through, but just to get to our closure, Tim Rumble is going to give us a Scoutmaster's minute to close us out. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah. Did you want to go over any other things on the calendar, like the awards ceremony? Let's go ahead and touch base on that. And I can forego doing a Scoutmaster's minute this month. I think it's more important that
we hit the
that we hit the stuff that's coming up in the next 30 days.
Okay. I hadn't because I didn't see Miss Valerie on, and I was saving up for her. Well, we had the awards recognition. I know is coming up. Let me get you the date, guys.
Sunday, March 17th.
Thank you. March 17th.
That'll be at the Elks Lodge in Fairmont. If you go to the calendar entry page, just today, I've updated the list of all of our awardees. A couple of them are on this meeting right now, so it's super exciting.
Very cool. Congratulations, everyone. I know what else I was going to mention. The Merit Badge University cutoff, I believe, is that also Thursday? Does anybody know? That is on the 24th. Okay. So that's a great activity for troops. Kids that they can earn a merit badge pretty much in a day. And it's just a neat gathering of scouts.
Pinewood Derby. The Council Pinewood Derby.
On the 16th of
and
March.
The STEM thing. Yeah.
Yep.
And I had one of my parents asked if they could just come watch it. And I don't know if the kid wanted to race his car or anything, but is that allowed?
I would think absolutely. Am I talking out of turn?
Yeah, no, I think that'd be more than welcome. If the scout is coming to participate in some of the activities, I would ask that he submits a registration, because that's where a majority of our costs are coming from, is the kind of the other activities going on that day.
Right. Gotcha.
But yeah, no, it's kind of open to the public for general viewing. So
thank you.
I would think it's a good recruitment tool to invite kids, to come watch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like we have some swim tests for availability in March. So on the 7th and the 21st.
Yep.
So that's at Island Park. That's cool. And then just scanning real quick to see if there's Scout Day at WVU Baseball is on April 14th. Another swim test opportunity in April. 2 more, in fact. And am I missing anything, guys? I mean, you guys can read the calendar, but I think that's the highlight, unless I'm missing something. Anybody have anything else? Okay. Are you sharing that, Alex?
Yep.
All right. Okay, well, that is the program that we have for tonight, guys. Again, thank you so much for joining us. It's really good to see y'all. And if you we're trying to get all the information out to you in multiple ways. So check the calendar for future Cracker Barrels. There's some information on our virtual roundtable page. Laurel's been sending emails like crazy, so it's hard to miss. So and feel free to invite the leaders in your units. Like, it doesn't have to be the Scoutmaster or the Cub Master. Lots of people in your unit could benefit from just having this community to their being, having it available to them. So anybody's welcome. And again, send me your topics if you think of anything you want to talk about. All right. Nothing, Tim?
Hey, the only thing I'll say, not any words of wisdom from the old fat Scoutmaster, but how exciting is it for me as an old fat Scoutmaster that we can finally let these kids receive the Eagle Palms for the merit badges that they've earned while they were on their trek. I wish that we would have had that years and years ago. I'm so excited about that for the kids that are in the program today, that they're going to be able to receive that recognition. I'm excited that the grade level is on the front of the Cub Scout books, the new Cub Scout books. As a new Cub parent walking in trying to figure out which way is up, to see 4th grade on the front of the book, it just makes it so much easier and so much less of this mysterious organization that I just signed my kid up for that I don't understand. So little things, baby steps, but I really feel like we're moving in the right direction, and I appreciate everybody's time tonight. So we look forward to seeing you in person soon, and sign up for Wood Badge. And if you haven't already signed your unit up for camp someplace, we'd love to have you at Camp Mountaineer or the day camp in Clarksburg, but the bottom line is we want to get your kids to camp. So if there's anything we can do to help you with that, let us know.
Right. All righty. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night. Thanks for visiting with us and hanging out. Take care. See you next month.
Yep.
You.